Well, Donald Trump's been liable for fraud, especially Trump Tower in New York. Y'all, good morning, Hammer Nation. Good morning, Hammer Nation. Let me get myself uh, prepared here. I'm not surprised anymore about what Donald Trump does. Yeah, he's insignificant to me at this point. So. Yep. Yeah. Good morning, Hammer Nation. Good morning. Good morning, Hammer Nation. Good morning. Good morning, Hammer Nation. Good morning, Hammer Nation. Good morning, Hammer Nation. Good morning. Yeah. Yeah. Breaking news.
Some breaking news just into CNN. North Korea has decided to, quote, expel U.S. Army Private Travis King. Remember, he crossed into the North from South Korea during a tour of the Joint Security Area in July. North Korea claimed that King has, quote, confessed that he illegally intruded into the territory of the DPRK as he harbored ill feelings against inhumane maltreatment and racial discrimination within the U.S. Army and was disillusioned about the unequal U.S. society. North Korea first acknowledged King's existence back in August. CNN cannot confirm whether these are King's own words, at least as they were described by the North Koreans. It is unclear from KCNA report where, when, and how King would be expelled. Our reporters are on this story right now. We're going to have much more on this as we get more information over the course of the next couple of hours.
We'll bring you that as we get it. Meantime, to politics, the second Republican debate is tonight. We'll break down the candidates' strategies as they try to separate themselves from the pack and from the elephant not in the room.
Plus, what Cassidy Hutchinson, the former top aide to Trump Chief of Staff Mark Meadows, says about her former boss now.
I see that picture, I feel sorry for him in some ways. Because he had a lot of opportunities to do the right thing and to come forward. You know, he's a man that has a family.
Huh. How long have you been tracking our car's value with Carvana?
Just like 7 months.
Should we sell it?
We hope.
Oh, silver vans are going for more right now.
Oh.
Oil mileage is paying off. You think we should?
Oh.
Depreciation's really heating up, you think?
Oh.
We just get 2.5%! Come on.
Already sold the Carvana. Go to Carvana and track your car's value today.
ADT self-setup featuring Google Nest products. Now you can easily install your system that's backed by ADT's 24/7 monitoring with no long-term contracts.
Have fun.
So you have a home with no worries. Brought to you by ADT.
Lordy. The golden hour of cold and flu symptoms.
I'm feeling better.
Cough? Congestion?
All in one and done with new Weeks and Eggs Kickstart.
Oh, you hated that. Headache? Better. Fever, body pain.
Better now.
New Mucinex Kickstart is all in one and done relief with a morning jolt of instant cooling sensation. It's not cold and flu season, it's comeback season.
The first time you connected your GoDaddy website and your store was also the first time you realized.
Well, we can do anything. Cheesecake cookies? The Chookie!
Manage all your sales from one place with a partner that always puts you first. Start today at GoDaddy.com.
Meeting's in 20. I'm fine, I'll follow the GPS.
Turn left here.
Oh, can't be.
Proceed along the route.
Are you certain?
Turn right.
Are you for imprint certain?
Arrived.
Certainty matters, like the certainty of ordering items from the promotional product professionals for imprint. Arrived. To show your appreciation to clients, coworkers, and customers, make your destination forimprint.com. For imprint, for certain. What you're seeing today is a successful eye surgery. And this, the dedicated hours of virtual training that made it happen. Academic advancements are being achieved every day through collaborative hands-on learning. Upskilling careers, now made possible through immersive environments. These are the ways the metaverse is being used today.
Tonight, after the Republican presidential debate, get critical context from the sharpest political team on television. Anderson Cooper and Dan Bash host the Republican presidential debate with debate analysis tonight, live at 11 on CNN.
Egypt and Mike are back to business.
This is going to be one of our best trips.
Balancing Project Biz. And busy kids. Can't hand over heels for their jaw-dropping reveal. That is cool. Married to Real Estate. All new Thursday at 9 on HGTV.
Brought to you by Window for the Inside Experts. Envision what's possible right in your own home. Schedule an in-home consultation at installwithrama.com. Export Android. Choose from hundreds of styles. M Tailor measures you digitally and is 20% more accurate than a professional tailor. With free shipping and a money-back guarantee, get your new favorite pair of jeans today. M Tailor, available on the Apple App Store or Android.
If you have employees, you need to check out the ERC program, Chef Wonderful. Why, Mr. Wonderful? Because it's cash flow that you don't have to pay back. Good to know. This guy's so smart and so handsome. Go to wondertrust.com to see if you're eligible.
Jose Andres and Family in Spain. New episode, Sundays at 9 on CNN.
Well, we're following this breaking news just into CNN. North Korean state media says North Korea has decided to, quote, expel U.S. Army Private Travis King. You'll remember he crossed into the north from South Korea during a tour of the joint security area in July. Now, it is unclear from the KCNA report where, when, and how King would be expelled. Joining us now from Seoul, CNN's Paula Hancock. Paula, there has been a lot of question about what would happen here. North Korea not even acknowledging that King was there until about a month after he crossed over. What do we know at this moment?
Well, Phil, what we know is from state-run media at this point, so obviously we don't have any other confirmation from Travis King himself, but they have said that they have carried out an investigation into what they call the illegal intrusion of their country. They claim that Travis King confessed to having crossed in illegally, and also that he harbored ill feeling against inhumane treatment and racial discrimination in the United States, which is why he decided to run across the border within the DMZ between North and South Korea back in mid-July. Now, of course, we have no way of independently confirming these comments. This is what state-run media is saying, but they say that he believed it was an unequal US society, which is why he decided to cross into the country. Now, what we know at this point is they have said that they have decided to expel him. We don't know exactly when that will be or where that will be. From past experience and precedents, they are generally expelled through China. So he could well be flown to Beijing, for example, and then flown on from there. We simply don't have that information at this point. This is all that state-run media is giving us. It does come on the eve of an important Korean holiday. It is Korean Thanksgiving that starts in a day or two, a significant calendar time of the year. And what we know from just last month, August, in fact, when North Korea finally admitted that Travis King had crossed in to the country illegally, was that he had admitted that he had done this voluntarily. And that is what we heard from the South Korean side as well, and eyewitnesses that were within this private tour group up at the DMZ that say he simply ran for it, ran across the border, tried to get into the building on the North Korean side, the door was locked, so ran round to the back and was then bundled into a car with North Korean guards. So what we know today is that he will be expelled. What we're waiting to find out is exactly how, where, and when.
Rare to see an expulsion like this?
Not really. This does happen. And what we did hear back in August, which some experts I spoke to pointed to, was the fact that North Korea said that he had mentioned he wanted to either stay in North Korea or be sent to a third country. Now, the fact that they gave the option of this third country suggested they didn't necessarily want to hold on to him. Now, the overwhelming feeling is that they will have debriefed him fully. He is a US service member after all, and could have useful information for them, at least in their eyes. Yeah, that's the latest we know, Poppy.
Thank you for the reporting on breaking news, Paula. Appreciate it. Now to politics here in the U.S., former Trump White House aide Cassidy Hutchinson warning yesterday that Donald Trump will not have any guardrails, she says, if he wins his second term in office. As a top aide to then White House Chief of Staff Mark Meadows, she had a front row seat to the former president's efforts to overturn the results of the 2020 election.
Now, Hutchinson's new book paints an even more chaotic picture of the end of the Trump administration than previously known. She then sat down for an extended interview with CNN's Jake Tapper to talk all about her new revelations, American democracy, and the Republican Party.
To me, it is sad that we're in this place as a country where we are looking at somebody who has executed this horrible assault on our democracy.
To call her and resign and send her staff an hour on. She said she wasn't there yet. But
the argument for Republicans and Democrats.
No, Menendez is going to appear in court today, Hammer Nation. He's going to appear in court, y'all. No.
It's a rare moment of consistency. Republican senators. I'm not being sarcastic. I'm surprised because normally they'll just have one set of rules for Trump and say everything he does is fine, and one set of rules for Democratic senators. But they're being consistent now to say that the juries should decide. I think that the Booker statement was sort of the model for this, which is you have public trust and the questions that raised just about the behavior and what it shows in terms of his judgment is enough to say that he should step aside. Whether he actually, and he may never do that. I think that the only thing Democrats can do is say what he should, what should happen here, and and that's enough to be living up to the standard.
Right, it's not senators stressing that resign does not mean an issue of guilt. It just means that you can't serve the people of New Jersey anymore. And I think we'll get more of his colleagues say the same today, that it is time to go. There is, certainly if they were not to do that, if they were to remain silent on Menendez, that would defang their ability to attack Trump to the same. They're trying to say Trump is under all these indictments, he's not fit to serve. The same standard has to apply. It does seem Menendez was famously stubborn. He certainly said yesterday that he would not resign. There's some suggestion, perhaps, that he would hold on to his seat and try to use it as a chip in a possible plea deal if they were to go that route. So I don't know that we should expect him to listen to those calls in some way, but expect him to pick up in the days ahead.
All right, coming up, the first impeachment inquiry hearing surrounding President Biden is set for tomorrow, but the Republican.
Multiple people had told him of that. There's never been a single shred of evidence produced. Bill Barr, the Attorney General, told the President and Mark Meadows that there was no evidence of this. And so he this whole situation. And it really does pain me, honestly, to see that interview of Cassidy because they were so
I still got time.
That relationship firsthand.
You check the clock.
And so I know that it hurts her to see him in this
6:34.
What's the impact of her writing this, telling all of these things to Jake? We heard her testimony before the January 6th committee. We saw her depositions.
I think she is a sort of a beacon for the future of the Republican Party. This is what your future looks like. Both her age, her voice.
If you so choose as a party.
Well, look, they can turn their backs on the Cassidy Hutchinsons of the world. She said in the interview that she has not changed her registration. She remains a Republican. But demographically, that's who the future belongs to. It belongs to the young people who want to sort of give up their time and their careers and go into public service, and we want to find as many people like that as possible. And she is saying very clearly, in a very poised manner, that she has loyalty, she has value commitments that the Republican Party has turned its back on. If they're smart, whoever the future of the Republican Party is going to be, the future leaders, the current leaders, they will try to sort of take a couple of steps in her direction instead of slavishly charging down this path of trying to relitigate the 2020 election.
Hanzo, I think what's striking, and I think this goes to Errol's point, is you look at the people around the former president, like Sarah, like Cassidy, cabinet officials, senior advisors, legal counsel, across the board, people working inside that building, for the most part, say the same thing that Cassidy Hutchinson is saying.
Right.
And yet, the actual elected officials inside the Republican Party made a decision in the weeks after January 6th that we're going to stick with them.
And they re-upped that decision in debate, right, when they had the hand raised. I don't have an answer for that, other than the fact that they are reading their party, and they might be reading their party in a different way than Errol was reading. And it's interesting to listen to Cassidy Hutchinson talk about, yes, I still consider myself a Republican. You and I know dozens of people like this, whether they're younger generation or older generations, Paul Ryan type Republicans. None of them seem terribly optimistic about their ability to fight.
Yeah.
And I think we heard that before the nation, but it came close to the last election. And that's what the interesting debate. I don't suspect that that's going to be a question tonight on the important. There's not a Korea, the fantastic China, the race, and the important big questions about that. They don't really seem like the other. So
Yeah. Yeah. Be happy. Be happy. Get some Beatles. Oh man. Sorry. Moving into a new direction, folks. Yeah. Yeah. That's no thinking. Really not much they did in here, so. Yeah. A little tea and a bagel. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, well, they're not gonna stop AI. AI is here to stay, man. What do you want?
Starting to hit Americans' finances. Think about this: buying a home or a car right now much harder. According to Sandy from Moody's, when you have higher borrowing costs and high prices, the Wall Street Journal puts it this way: that Sandy estimates that the typical American household would need to use 42 weeks of income just to buy a new car. As of August, up from 33 weeks a year ago, the National Association of Realtors calculates that the typical American family cannot afford to buy a median-priced home. Joining us now, one of the 12 Fed officials who have vote this year on interest rates, president of the Minneapolis Fed, Neil Kashkari. All right. I was seeing Jane, he chooses his words carefully on things like this. You have said you see a 40% chance of meaningful higher rates. Is 7% possible enough that Americans should prepare for it?
It's hard to prepare for it. I would say for everybody, all businesses and individuals. One of the big surprises for us over this year is how resilient the economy has been. As you said, we've raised interest rates a lot over the past couple of years, and if the economy has continued to be quite strong, and American households have continued to spend more than we expected, so that's good news that there's that resilience in the economy. But if our interest rates are slowing down the way that we expect, then there is that risk that we might have to go higher.
Yeah, 2% higher.
It's hard.
But that sounds like Americans should prepare for it. I mean, that's Jamie.
Yeah.
That's famous saying.
Menendez is out there. But it's up to him.
2% more to the tide going out, and then if Americans are prepared, they are stuck.
That's the big sticking point, man.
Don't take on more debt. If the credit card interest rates have gone up quite a bit, if you have bigger balances, then it's going to be more and more difficult to service those debts. And to the extent possible, have longer-term loans, longer-term home market, better, less sensitive to it's a tough thing to deal with.
Yeah.
One thing we're not even yet, sort of the we already have an auto shutdown. It looks like we're going to have a government shutdown. Student loan repayments, that's a ton of money. That starts again October 1st.
Mm-hmm.
People are already feeling it because gas prices, and that affects families all across the country right away. So that is a real factor. The other ones are also real as well. When we've analyzed these in the past, I mean, I'm not hoping for a government shutdown. I want to see the government stay open. Historically, they've been quite short, so they have not seen same thing with student loans. If you just analyze the student loan payments, it can be very painful for an individual family to deal with. If you look at the scale of it,
Yep, it's up to Menendez to quit. Because he's going to be in court today. Fire! 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 Yeah. Come on, Gary. Yeah. I knew it didn't. Oh, God. Yeah. He gonna get his, man. He's gonna appear in court today, man. Can put that in there. So let's see. Yes. That has been long enough. Yeah. So I got time to fool around with you guys. Hey, Jerry. Good morning, Jerry. Good morning, boy. Good morning.
Every single police officer in Baltimore City, state of Maryland, as well as the U.S. Marshals are being interviewed. People are finding
Hey. 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 See, it's not doing well on my computer. www.
be aware of your surroundings at all times. This individual will kill and he will grave anything he can. Number two,
Yeah. Yeah. Wow.
Confession they speak of is in fact accurate, and as you say, they say that he confessed to illegally entering North Korea. They say they carried out an investigation over the past couple of months, and that investigation is now over, and they have decided to expel him. That's the thing that they said last month when they had the first acknowledgement that Travis King had even gone into their country, saying that they was wanting to get away from an unequal US society. Now, back in August, they had said that he was looking at the opportunity to stay in North Korea, potentially work for a third country. And at the time, it was seen as a positive note, the fact that they were even entertaining the thought there may be a third country, suggesting they may not want to keep hold of him for too
Charlie
long.
dance.
Very few
Charlie
people
dance.
assume that he may have been heavily debriefed. He's not a US soldier. They may not claim to an awful lot of secrets, but certainly any information North Korea may find useful, they will have debriefed him. So this all happened naturally. He had spent 50 days in a facility in South Korea. He had faced assault charges, so he had been in a South Korean facility. He was supposedly flown back to the United States, but when he was at the airport, he managed to get out of the airport, go on the airport tour, and then done a
all it means. Then Whitney took over. Man, New Jersey rules Trump committed fraud in building real estate empire. Dag, man. What's that gonna mean for Trump Tower, man? What's that gonna mean for Trump Tower, man? I don't know. That's a big deal, man. That's a big freaking deal. Yeah. Yeah, what's that going to mean for Trump Tower, folks? He's in trouble, man. Young man. Where is Junior Senior now?
Two other employees of the Trump organization. And in New York, you cannot operate a business except as a sole proprietor, my own business, unless you have a license from the state. And the judge has canceled all those licenses, all of which fall under the umbrella of the Trump organization. This is a corporate.
Used to say. Okay, by Junior. Yeah, I wonder what happened to Junior.
never done a single thing that requires seeking forgiveness. Those assets will be seized, they will be sold, and clearly
Yeah, I want. Yeah.
creditors, the fines due to the state taxes will be paid first. If there's anything left, Donald will get that money, but since he inflated the assets, it's not like much, if anything.
You're 66 years old.
Kay Johnson, thank you for your expertise this morning.
The migrant crisis in the United States across America, and CNN has teams on the ground, Mexico and New York, to tell you the stories of people making a dangerous journey to the border.
Also overnight, this disturbing footage out of Philadelphia shows hundreds of people looting stores across the city. We'll bring you those details and how police are responding.
I was put on earth to work here. I have my hobbies. I don't believe in it.
Yeah.
The only thing I love more than anything else is spreadsheets. Is me husband that else is spreadsheets.
Everybody only answers, and only answers ask Mark at Apple Enterprise.
Within 24 hours, people have donated over $5,000. We set up the Patriotic Cancer Foundation to give mobility scooters to veterans. None of this would have happened without TikTok.
Once you learn your new car, bring it to Safe Bike. My customers enjoy your new car. She didn't take it to the dealer. She skipped it to Safe Bike. You know the latest technology? I think these are these dollars. We can make replacements and recalibrations than anyone else.
When AGC called us, we were so glad that we have a chance to dance together on one stage again and to show the world that light always wins. Yes, and we're going to show our spirit clean.
I think you are unbelievably great and you have our total respect.
Thank you so much. Very, very grateful. Thank you.
Yeah, so we're gonna yeah. It's wired for fraud, man.
That's a story only CNN can tell. We have two teams going on tour with flash drives and border crossings to Mexico. Crews captured the higher division south of the face to try to reach the border. Here we'll see how that goes.
Yeah. So where's my racial sweet caravan and all you guys in Hammer Nation? Oh, hey there. Yeah.
Oh my God, they're just describing the passing through the Darien Gap, and they said several people were already passed away. A lot of kids, they saw the remains, and he says children who were abandoned. Those images haunt Susanna Aleman, describing the journey she made with her 4 young kids. But even amidst her tear-filled pain, little ones lighten the load. His 4-year-old sister, Sophia, helping clean it up, as Joanne then turns the questions on me. Curiosity brings their siblings and cousins, and Joanne takes over the mic, telling me why they left Venezuela. 6 years old, even Steve said Venezuelan economy is bad. But as they share, disturbing memories surface. About innocent children, mind you, having them sharing in the bodies that they saw at least described as one woman. Sophia's pain as she remembers saying goodbye to loved ones. Heartbreaking, the friendships, there's lots. Hearing it from kids about the film expression, they've been through so much already, and they've got a lot more to go. Another 1,000+ miles to what is the destination for the vast majority of them, and that is, of course, the U.S.
Told in a way only you can, David Culver. That was remarkable. Thank you for being on the story and staying on it. And Shimon, to you now, you've also been at the center of all of this, covering what happens as those migrants move north. You're joining us from New York City. As I understand it, a bus of migrants just pulled up behind you moments ago, Shimon. Is that right?
Yeah, Poppy, that's right. Just the last few minutes, a bus pulled up. But this morning, in the last 30 minutes or so since we've been here, we've seen 3 buses pull up here. Most of the migrants were getting off the buses were families with multiple kids, little kids coming here from Texas. You know, for the weeks that they traveled through the border to get to Texas, they then spent 2 days on buses getting here. We saw over 100 of them this morning going inside here behind me in what is the city's intake center. And we've spent a couple of days here in the last few weeks sort of
Anybody there?
what some of the families have been going through and why they came here.
We're going to offer you food and water right away. Hot and helping go a long way. Dr. Ted Long from New York City's Health and Hospital is proud of the operation the city has established here. Everything that we've developed in New York City is to meet the needs that were not met for people coming to us from Texas so far. So here,
Yeah,
whether
man.
it's for communicable disease, if you're a pregnant woman giving you prenatal care, or screening you for the very important mental health conditions you might have, like depression, we do it all here because it's not done before here. It really catches your eye to see so many kids running through the halls of the Roosevelt Hotel, almost like a playground. So many kids. The city says 20,000 migrant children have come through New York so far. Why did you come to America? Lady Kaza is 23 years old and escaping violence in Ecuador. She says she came here for her daughter Mia, who was born with a physical disability. How are you feeling? She says she's happy that she's here now, and she's scared to go back to Ecuador. I'm afraid that my daughter will die there if she can't get medical attention. I need a place to stay. I think they're going to help me. It's good news for Lady and Maya.
They're being moved out of the intake center to a shelter. As this group leaves, another is already shuffling in behind them. 116,000 have come to New York City since the spring of 2022, city officials say. And it's a reminder that the flow of migrants doesn't stop.
The burden on New York City is too much, quite honestly. We're past our breaking point.
Among those just arriving, Luis Flores. We met him outside, and his wife, Ermelinda Morales. They now have seats inside. It's a dream come true, he says. Took him 2.5 months to come to this country through the border, and now he's just hoping to give his family a better life. They've been sitting here now for several days, waiting for the next steps and the next process. And this is your wife, yes? Years you've been married. How are you doing? Ermelinda tells us it was their dream to come to the United States, and she doesn't want to lose her husband, now that they've finally made it. As we leave, Luis speaks directly into our camera. I just want to work, he says. These are the hands of a worker. And so that's the big thing here, families wanting work. Fathers, mothers who have all their kids here. I mean, there's some 20,000 kids that have been through the system. And probably you can look, Poppy and Phil, you can look behind you. You see all these kids. They're going to school. I mean, this is their temporary home here at the Roosevelt Hotel. Some of them have been here for several weeks. But what the city has done is that most of the kids here, they've tried to enroll them in schools. They want to give them some semblance of a normal life. And the hope is for many of them that eventually, for many of the parents here, that they can get jobs. That's a big problem here right now.
Yeah, Shimon, to that point, make clear it's temporary. You show the very striking moment, direct the camera at the end of your piece about the individual wants to work. What does happen next, long term, these people?
So what happens basically is they need to file for asylum. Many of them don't even realize that that's something they need to do. And that's going to take time. Normally they should take somewhere around 180 days or so. But what the city is seeing that it is taking much longer. And without those asylum paperwork, without that paperwork, without some of the other...
Yeah.
So ever, it reminds me of when George Orwell would write back during World War II, talking about how horrible democracy was. And all you had to do was talk to a fascist or a communist, and they would tell you how horrible democracy was. And Orwell would say, some of your arguments are really true. And maybe we could take more faith in them if you put it in proper perspective, and you didn't realize that all these communists and fascists from across the world, once the first shots were fired in World War II, all fled to America, and all fled to England, and all fled to these democracies that they said were corrupt. Well, that's what I'm saying. There's no perspective here, but they play the rep ceaselessly, and a lot of people in mainstream media are stupid enough to fall for Bobby Knight, working the reps and throwing chairs.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just, man, New York is at the breaking point now, man.
Folks coming in from this migrant trail and continuing their way up, and that's why you have crowds like this behind me. And it's interesting hearing what Shimon was saying, even with a lot of those folks who have made it into the U.S., is you have those individuals who are reaching out to their friends and family, many of them right here behind me in Venezuela, and saying, hey, we made it, and despite the struggles that they're still facing, it's better than what these folks are either coming from or feel like they have around them here in Mexico. So for them, it's motivation to continue forward.
David Culver joining us from Tapachula, Mexico, Shimon Cortez right here in New York City, where many of those migrants end up. Thank you for reporting to you both.
Let's debate night in America with Senate Republican South to take the stage tonight. Missing, once again, Jeremy Furman.
Now, a landmark lawsuit against Amazon, the federal trade.
Oh, man.
Over online retail, how Amazon responds ahead.
Who will be the superior side? Is it the rich, creamy, indulgent classic, the spectacular Bob Evans mashed potatoes, or is it that decadent, divine
I'm supposed to go to Bob Evans in Shady Brook Farm.
whole copy of delicious taste happens as no one. So, which delicious sound will you choose? Uh-oh, you heard a screech outside at night, but you can't see what it is because there's not enough light. You need a bionic floodlight from Bell & Howell. The solar-powered, motion-activated, multi-directional floodlight that showers a super span of light right where you need it.
That's where I'm supposed to go.
Not anywhere around your home. The outdoor at night, no wires or installation frustration. Watch, the instant motion is detected. The bionic floodlight triggers 108 high-intensity LED bulbs.
Yeah. Come on, let's get them lights up, man.
Bright, penetrating light, then automatically shuts off after the motion stops. Each panel is fully adjustable to direct the bright light to the right spot. The bionic floodlight is the versatile wireless, safety, security, and outdoor lifestyle light you'll love. And it's from Bell & Howell, the brand name your family has trusted for over 100 years. No more arriving to a dark driveway or house at night. Place them in the ground to illuminate walkways and entryways. Add an evening accent light to your garden, or mount it to keep unwanted critters away. Adjust the panels to light your deck and your food on the grill at the same time. Add light by the hot tub or pool without dangerous electrical wires. Host the nighttime neighborhood hoops games and enjoy the great outdoors. Anywhere for any reason,
Yeah.
and in any weather, in any season. Best of all, it's backed by our exclusive Bell & Howell Bionic 10-year satisfaction guarantee. Get the Bionic Floodlight by Bell & Howell, and right now it's yours for just $29.95. But wait, call right now and you can get a second Bionic Floodlight for 50% off. And we'll even ship it to you free. Here's how to order.
Call 1-800-610-2379 or go to bionicfloodlight.com. So call 1-800-610-2379. That's 1-800-610-2379 or order online at bionicfloodlight.com.
Tonight, after the Republican presidential debate, get critical context from the sharpest political team on television. Anderson Cooper and Dana Bash host the Republican presidential debate. Post-debate analysis tonight, live at 11 on CNN.
Guys, listen up. Want to try the strongest FDA-approved EE meds available?
No.
Get maximum strength generic.
What's up, Hammertime? Good morning to y'all.
Just $2 per tablet at rexmt.com.
Our ears connect us to the moments that matter. Give them the nutrients they need, giving them low balance support. It's formulated with ingredients clinically shown to reduce irritable-like symptoms such as dizziness, spinning, and sweating. Never miss a moment with Lipoflavin.
I started Bright Star Care to provide a higher standard of care. It's been my goal for 20 years, and it always will be. If you're an experienced caregiver with that same passion, join the brand that supports you most.
Mm-hmm.
Tonight, 7 Republican candidates will spar on stage in their pursuit of the party's 2024 nomination.
Yeah, so we're going. What about Menendez, man? Right now, he ain't going to resign unless he says he's going to quit. Everybody's wasting their breath.
Really ticks fast.
Well, unfortunately, I mean, just based on, our votes last night until 1:30.
The law was passed in 2021 during the pandemic, providing $24 billion for child care providers, the largest federal investment in child care in U.S. history. But come September 30th, it's due to expire.
Does this keep you up at night?
It does. The thought of losing one child, much less, 30% of them, it just breaks your heart.
Patty Smith has been the director of the center for nearly 30 years.
With the funding ends, unfortunately, I don't think those parents will be able to pay our tuition. So those children will be without care. We may have to close the classrooms or hopefully not the center as a whole.
The Century Foundation, a progressive think tank, estimates the looming childcare cliff could result in the closure of 70,000 childcare programs, and more than 3.2 million children could lose their spots, costing families $9 billion in lost wages.
What are the chances we go off this cliff?
I don't think we're seeing really good signs right now.
I think there's a high likelihood.
New Jersey Congresswoman Mikey Sherrill and California Congressman Jimmy Gomez, chair of the Dems caucus, have joined several other Democratic lawmakers to co-sponsor the Child Care Stabilization Act.
We have a child care crisis in America.
It would continue funding at $16 billion for the next 5 years to keep centers open and help workers.
Working class voters in Michigan that helped propel Biden to the White House. And now you're seeing Trump trying to get some of those votes back. It's not going to be easy this time around, particularly given all of the criticism that he has gotten from these
Yeah. Oh, God.
Anti-labor, anti-union, but they still believe that it's possible. And Poppy and Phil, I do want to note one thing. It is not just Trump who is looking ahead to the general. You mentioned that fundraiser. The Biden people are out with a new ad today that is airing in Michigan ahead of Trump's visit. Take a listen.
He says he stands with auto workers, but as president, Donald Trump passed tax breaks for his rich friends, while automakers shuttered their plants, and Michigan lost manufacturing jobs. Joe Biden said he'd stand up for workers, and he's delivering, passing laws that are increasing wages and creating good-paying jobs. Manufacturing is coming back to Michigan.
And one thing is clear, you mentioned that Republicans see an opportunity here. Well, obviously Democrats also see that there is potential for these union voters, these working class voters, to vote Republican. They're putting out this ad specifically in Michigan to show Biden's record, to show Trump's record as well. And the one other thing I want to point out here is that one of the things we are expecting to hear from Donald Trump tonight is this pitch against electric vehicles, which of course has been a cornerstone of Biden's presidency. They say, the Trump campaign says that this is going to take away jobs, move them to China, and it's likely why they chose this facility here, this non-union facility. It is a facility that the president said in an interview yesterday that if electric vehicles were to take over now, that this facility, his facility, would go out of business.
All right, Kristen Holmes, big night. Hope the talking point, at least that's what the campaign thinks. Thanks very much.
All right, let's go to Jen Walsh. She's live at the Ronald Reagan Presidential Library for tonight's debate. Good morning. Some of the rivals, Trump's rivals, he's not going to be there, but they are calling him out for that, right?
2, 3.
Yeah, he is not going to be here again, Poppy. And lest you think that this is just going to be a repeat of debate one, what we're hearing from these campaigns signaling is yes, they are taking it to Donald Trump. That is the hope, that they are doing it, testing out some of those lines before this debate, signaling as well to us that they are going to use some of those lines on the debate stage, but also trying to take swipes at each other as they all fight to be the Trump alternative. We are hearing from Tim Scott's campaign that he will be much more aggressive in posture. Vivek Ramaswamy telling CNN that what he is planning to do is to take some of those policy and personality disagreements that he has with Donald Trump, that he's going to put that on the debate stage, as well as Nikki Haley, who's been testing out some of those anti-Trump lines, calling him before this debate thin-skinned and weak in the knees. And we also heard last night that they are not happy that Trump is not going to be here. Take a listen.
I think it's interesting that he's not willing to stand on that stage. I think he owes it to all the voters to show up, defend his record, articulate what he would do going forward. He's running in 2024 on a lot of the same promises he ran on in 2016 and didn't deliver on.
The Donald Trump today is different than the Donald Trump of 2016, and you bet, I think he ought to be on that debate stage. He ought to be engaging all of us that are vying for this nomination.
And what all of these campaigns are signaling to us is that they understand this is really their big chance, a big opportunity to speak directly to Republican primary voters. And they also are speaking to those fundraisers. Phil and Poppy, this is an opportunity to keep that cash coming, to keep their campaigns going.
Okay, Jen, thank you. It's going to be a fascinating night there, that's for sure. So this morning, Senator Bob Menendez will make his first court appearance. It will happen in New York on these federal charges stemming from alleged bribery payments.
No, Menendez is going to appear in court today, folks.
Hundreds of thousands of dollars in cash, a luxury car among them.
All that driving a growing number of lawmakers who called for him to resign.
He's not going to resign, man.
The Senate Democratic caucus. Menendez, however, remaining fine.
Will you run for re-election? Will you run for re-election? I'm going to do the work of the people of New Jersey. Will you run for re-election, sir? As I said, I'm here to do the work of the people of New Jersey. Why won't you resign, sir? Senator Menendez, I'm innocent. What's wrong with you, guys?
Senate's Harrison Al is live outside the federal courthouse in New York
584.
City. The Cory Booker moment and joining that group of 20 plus was kind of a big moment yesterday. But in terms of what we're going to see today, Menendez, his wife, two other New Jersey businessmen will appear in court. What do we expect?
Hey, Hammer Nation, is anybody else in here? Is there Jan or Zeke in here? 5'8".
As they're going ahead into court and go before the judge. So it would be Senator Menendez, his
5'8",
and two New Jersey businessmen
4'0",
accused of paying the senator hundreds of thousands of dollars of bribes in the form of
101.
gold bars, cash, Mercedes-Benz convertible, mortgage payments, and a no or low show job for his wife. And in exchange, the senator is accused of taking steps to benefit the men and to provide some aid to Egypt through his role as the chairman or then chairman of the Senate Finance Committee. Now, this appearance they will all appear in court before a judge. We do expect them to be arraigned on the charges. And the fifth,
So he's in trouble, man. Watch this, Hammer Nation. He's in New York federal court. That's where he's gonna be. Hey, where's Ghetto, man? He's gonna appear in federal court today.
Saying he is not going anywhere and he expects to be exonerated on all charges when this is said and done. Phil, Poppy, Harrison, thank you for the reporting. We'll watch closely as this unfolds today.
Yeah.
Astronaut Fred Rubio just landed back on Earth after becoming the first American.
You know, he's just hurting himself as it is. You know what I'm saying? He's just hurting himself as it is. He's hurting himself as... Where's Busy Bob Menendez, man? That's what we call him here. Busy Bob Menendez, man. Shoot. Hey, Gary. Hey, Gary. Thank you for the 4 people that's in here. Hey, Gary. What's up? People are crazy. Gary. The imbeciles. Dipsticks. Morons. Assholes. Yeah. Busy Bob Menendez in a Mercedes Benz. Busy Bob Menendez in a Mercedes Benz. Busy Bob just got himself a Mercedes Benz. Bob Menendez, why'd you get a Mercedes Benz? You never had a Mercedes Benz in your life. Oh, Bob, why'd you get yourself a Mercedes Benz? You don't need it anymore. Why didn't you just get why didn't you just get an Uber? Okay, you got the money to get Ubers. And who gave you that Mercedes Benz? Busy Bob Menendez in a Mercedes Benz. Ah, heck. Busy Bob Menendez in a Mercedes Benz. What a dork. Busy Bob Menendez driving a Mercedes Benz. Oh, God. Let's see. 22127. No. Yeah, Busy Bob Menendez in a Mercedes Benz. While he's driving Mercedes Benz. A Mercedes Benz. Busy Bob Menendez in a Mercedes Benz. He shouldn't be driving a Mercedes Benz.
Moving? Get our best deals and save more.
I mean, really,
Stay
what a
connected in your
dork.
new home with 500 meg fiber internet for
Yeah.
Plus, look at this at Family in Spain. New episode. Sundays at 9 on CNN.
All right, welcome back. So this morning, over America's families and the U.S. economy, it has been dubbed the child care cliff, and now we are just 3 days away from careening over it. This Saturday, billions of dollars from COVID-era funding that kept daycares open, it's going to run out. And if Congress does not act to renew that funding, supporters of this aid say it could have catastrophic results for American families and businesses across the country.
I lose sleep over it. It's a constant worry.
Families under financial pressure and now facing the prospect of another child care crisis. According to a progressive think tank, without new funding, as many as 70,000 child care programs could close. More than 3 million children could be at risk of losing access to care, and more than 230,000 jobs could be lost in that sector alone. And parents, especially working moms, could be forced to leave the workforce.
So I did have to take a leave of absence.
Delisa Abreu, a single mom of 2 in Florida, says she had to temporarily leave her job as a recruiter when COVID hit to take care of her children. Now she says she worries about having to make that choice again.
I worry what's going to happen to those moms now, specifically the single parents.
All the prices were just astronomical.
For Alex McGann, mom of 2, the cost of childcare forced her husband to leave his job in a Massachusetts classroom to care for their children at a time when educators are in short supply.
It did leave a hole in the school after running all the numbers and assessing all of our options. We realized that we daycare.
Congressional Democrats urging their Republican colleagues to take action and pass a bill that would provide $16 billion in annual.
Access to high-quality childcare is essential to our economy. If mamas and daddies can't get care for their babies, they can't go to work.
Republican Senator John Kennedy offering sympathy for the issue.
You know, being opposed to affordable child care is like being opposed to golden retrievers.
While also raising the critical question of how to pay for it.
Do we raise taxes? Do we just borrow it? We are running.
We thought all these years, we thought this nigga was a drunk. No, he is really chemically imbalanced.
But for the families and child care providers at the edge of the cliff, they say the cost of doing nothing is simply too much.
Affordable child care is a luxury that shouldn't be a luxury.
Yeah, look, do you really feel bad about the black face now that we know that this nigga's a cocaine?
She's the founder of Girls Who Code.
He probably did that for some cocaine.
That advocates for improved child care
Yeah,
benefits. Gately
you
issues.
know how to dope man is.
Congress back in
You
2020.
ain't got no money, nigga, put on black face and go live on social
So good
media.
for bringing these things
Yeah, I
forward.
get
Because by the way, this is all
that.
over the papers this morning, and you've been sort of ringing the alarm bells now for months that this was
You
going
know?
to end. What happened Saturday? I'm assuming no more funding for this unless something dramatically changes. What does that mean next Monday for families?
I mean, it means that 3 million kids are in childcare. Hundreds of thousands of childcare workers are out of
Okay.
job. Parents
Even
who
Roy,
have
you know, Roy wasn't trying to beat up
one
with
out of 2
motherfucking child.
Americans live in a city that has no childcare. So you're going to see parents with their childcare bills.
Oh, hey, Rossi girl.
Increasing.
Oh, you want your Gary fix? Here's your Gary fix. There he is. Gary. Come here, Gary. There you are. Here you go.
On these issues at the start of this administration coming out legislative proposals the president put together. The thing I don't understand necessarily is the argument we are lacking in productivity and force at this moment. This contributes to production. This very clearly has
getting ready for the day.
benefits were put out there. And yet it costs too much, we can't afford this.
Here, how's your chopper? Rasta girl, how's your chopper?
Childcare as a personal problem, right?
How is Rasta girl's chopper?
Even though 2/3 of women are doing caregiving work.
Why doesn't that argument connect?
Oh, yeah.
Backs that up.
Because, I mean, and you kind of see this in Senator Kennedy's argument. 2/3 of Americans, or most legislators, still believe that someone should take care, someone should stay home.
I'm going to the workshop today.
Right, so we're not prioritizing women's labor market participation. We're not prioritizing families. And the reality
So I'll be. Gotta get myself prepared. Rasta girls in the chopper. Yeah, so that's what I got planned for today, Rasta girl.
Right next to AI, right next to China.
There are people on both sides of the aisle speaking out, economists working on this issue. On the Democratic side, Congressman Ro someone who worked with alongside Republican Representative Nancy Mace, Janet Yellen, the Treasury Secretary, has said, and I think rightly so.
So that's what I got planned for today.
Market. Has the Biden administration, you're a Democrat, but have they done enough on this issue, do you believe? Have Democrats writ large?
Look, I mean, I think the president introduced, a proposal to create a ceiling, on the cost that Americans spend on childcare. They've given a lot of voice to this. The problem is Congress is broken. The men in Washington have decided that it's not a priority, and they simply don't have the will to get anything.
Thank you, Rasta girl.
I think that we need literally an army of moms, that are putting pressure on Washington to say, this is a priority for families. And we need to prioritize it.
Moms and dads too.
Oh, absolutely. And dads want this too. This isn't a gender issue, right? This is a family issue. But the reality is that the caregiving work is done by women. You saw this, on the clip. The person who's having to make the choice between their job and their kids are us. And so our voices at this moment are critical.
We appreciate it. Phil sometimes does both.
Chelsea, we need you to march to Washington and tell Senator Kennedy exactly where our dollars need to be spent.
I know we have to go, but I think the interesting thing is there are conservative proposals, policy proposals. There seemed to be a sea change and an understanding of the importance of this and how you reconcile them. It's still an open question that nobody's figured out.
I mean, listen, the movement that we're building is bipartisan. This isn't a political issue. Right? We had, thousands of Republican mothers send letters to their Republican congresspeople saying, I need you to do something. So again, I think the necessity right now is to make this, again, a priority. In many ways, I feel these issues is how climate was, 20 years ago. They're like, oh, we all should recycle. Now we realize that it's fundamental to our economic innovation and our success as a country. And it's the same thing on care issues.
You've been leading the charge on this, yeah.
We really appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Okay, a new big lawsuit against Amazon from the FTC and the states. We'll tell you what it means.
And NASA astronaut Frank Rubio just returned to Earth after becoming the first American to spend a full year in space. The historic moment, we got it next.
Touchdown. This is American infrastructure, a prime target for cyber attacks. With the same AI-powered security that protects all of Google, also defends these services for everyone who lives here. Stay tuned to get this 5-piece ultra-advanced cookware set free from Great Stone. Argument iron, plastic burn, nuclear don't fit, and pans that stick. You know you need a new set, but the prices are so high it makes you save. Well, get ready for a kitchen full of the most durable ultra-non-stick cookware at the most affordable price anywhere. Introducing Granite Stone Pro, the fast, easy way to cook gourmet family meals every day. Each piece of Granite Stone cookware is pressed on a solid aluminum disc for even heat production and coated 3 times with our durable ultra-non-stick Granite Stone Blue finish. Granite Stone Blue is oven rated up to 500 degrees for outstanding roasting and come with vented tempered glass lids to prevent boilover. Plus, all Granite Stone cookware is 100% dishwasher and metal container. For a professional quality cookware set. But during this special TV introduction
Stone Blue 12B set, not for $5, or even $300, but for the factory direct price of just 5 easy payments of $49.95. And for everyone who orders today, we're going to drop one payment. You get it home for just 4 easy payments of $49.95. Green Stone Cookware is so durable it comes with a 10-year warranty. As a bonus, we'll include our self-draining fry basket, stainless steel steamer insert, and the steel rack. A $50 value, absolutely free. And it's even more. As a special gift, you get a 5-piece Green Stone Blue bakeware set. The fast, easy, ultra non-stick way to bake up your favorite desserts. No grease or oil needed. Together, they're a $110 value. Yours free.
Yeah. So that's where I'm going today. Yeah. Yeah. Let me go use the bathroom. Okay, give me a bathroom break.
Get critical context from the sharpest political team on television. Anderson Cooper and Dan Dash host the Republican presidential debate. Post-debate analysis tonight, 5/11 on CNN.
Sports fans from everywhere have won over $600 million on Underdog Fantasy. Join the Underdogs today, find fans just like you.
I started experiencing ED. I knew I had to do something about it.
You go online, you answer the medical questions.
Medication is at my house within a couple of days.
Because it is effective, I say I'm not second time. Get started today with RexMD.com.
Windorama versus the competition.
Windorama has a huge range of Anderson products in stock and ready to install. We promise fair and transparent pricing with no pressure. We guarantee all of our products will work. Call anytime or stop by a showroom today.
With Caitlin Collins, tonight at 9.
Just moments ago, NASA astronaut Frank Rubio landed back on Earth after breaking the record, becoming the first American to spend more than a year in space. Now, he initially planned to spend just 6 months in space, but his Russian ride fell through, forcing him to remain at the International Space Station. CNN's Kristen Fisher joins us now from Washington, D.C. Kristen, he's being carried out of the capsule. We're supposed to be carried out of the capsule. Why?
Well, this is standard procedure for any astronaut, but especially an astronaut like Frank Rubio, who has just become the first American to spend a full year in space. Because, think about it, this is the first time in 371 days that his body has been exposed to the forces of gravity. He has not put any weight on his legs or had to really lift anything with any more weight in well over a year. And so, even astronauts who spend about a week in space, they have a hard time walking after they return to Earth. He spent more than a year in space, and he's having probably a very tough time getting acclimated to the forces of gravity. And so you see them right there extracting him from the Soyuz capsule, which landed in Kazakhstan just a few minutes ago. He's literally carried out and then placed in a reclining chair where he can try to regain his sense of equilibrium. But Phil, the other big thing that he's dealing with is this violent re-entry into the Earth's atmosphere. In addition to just the forces of gravity, he's also just pulled 4. Everybody describes the Soyuz landing as being particularly violent. In fact, the previous record holder, Phil, NASA astronaut Mark Vande Hei, the previous record holder for this single duration space flight, he said his advice to Rubio before landing was keep your mouth shut on landing so that you don't bite off your tongue. That's how violent it is. So I think it's understandable that Rubio might carry out his spacecraft right about now. Wow. Well,
Good advice.
yes, that's great advice. Kristen Fisher, welcome to him. Now we get to see his family for some year. Thank you. Yeah, his 4 kids. Thanks.
Only difference is
Well, the Federal Trade Commission in 17 states launching a landmark lawsuit against America's e-commerce company Amazon. The suit accuses Amazon of having a monopoly over much of the online retail environment, using its market size and power to manipulate third-party sellers and raise prices for consumers.
different with
People are paying higher prices, right? Consumers are paying more than they otherwise would. Small businesses are having to pay a 50% Amazon tax right now. And so ultimately, the complaint is seeking to restore the lost promise of competition. Greater competition will mean lower prices, better quality, better selection, and greater innovation. And that's ultimately what this case is about.
Somebody put on subscribers mode.
Platforms and services harming third-party sellers
No.
who rely on Amazon to sell their goods. It's a claim that has followed Amazon for years, starting with a paper written by the woman you just heard from. She's now the FTC chair, Lena Khan, and she wrote about this back in 2017 as a law student. Here's how she explained it to us in 2019.
You have a situation when a single company is effectively able to set the terms of the marketplace. That's a situation where I think we should worry about the market not.
That same year, I asked the then CEO of Amazon Worldwide Consumer, Jeff Wilkie, about all these criticisms of Amazon's marketplace dominance. Here's what he said. Does Amazon give priority to and prioritize its private label in search?
We prioritize the things that customers want.
In a recent hearing on Capitol Hill, an Amazon attorney went a step further and categorically denied the claim.
We do not use their individual data when we're making decisions for each private brand. Our incentive is to help the seller succeed because we rely on them.
So when Wilkie, the Amazon executive, left the company in 2021, yesterday, Lena Khan told CNN the FTC has not ruled out holding Amazon executives personally liable for the company's alleged conduct if they find sufficient evidence.
Amazon says the government's action could end up causing the very problems it hopes to solve, and that, quote, if the FTC gets its way, the result.
Yeah, so I'm almost out of here.
Options for small businesses, the opposite of what antitrust law is designed to do. This is not the FTC's only lawsuit against Amazon.
I'll be right back, there, boo.
Alleging scheme to enroll customers into their Prime memberships without knowing. All right, you have been focused on this.
I just find it
Almost
interesting.
You obviously covered.
Did I email you enough of that?
I love those emails. I learned a lot from them. What's your take? Because this is a huge moment, not just for the FTC, the Biden administration, but also the incumbent.
Well, this has been her fight since she was a law student. She's the first one who raised the question to, I think, this country about what is a monopoly? How do we define it? Do we have to change the way we define a monopoly from the Microsoft days to what Amazon is now? My question on this is it's important to track 17 state attorneys general are on board. But what's it going to mean for people at home and the people who sell on Amazon? I think that's the real question. Is if they prevail in this lawsuit, is it just going to be fines and penalties, or will actual changes happen that benefit them? And Amazon, and their statement is important too, saying if you succeed in what you're trying to do, it's just going to cost people more. So it's groundbreaking. We'll see where it goes.
It's groundbreaking. There are several suits the FTC has brought. So defeats or problems
That's right.
they've had with some of them. This is going to set a lot of precedent. Very important.
We'll watch it.
CNN Sport continues right now.
Morning, everyone. Let's start with 5 things to know for this Wednesday, September 27th, and we begin with this breaking news out of North Korea. That country has decided to expel U.S. Army Private Travis King, who crossed into the North from South Korea in July.
And it's debate night in America. 7 Republican candidates will take the stage in California tonight to make their case to voters.
One person will not be on that stage, Donald Trump. Instead, he's going to give a primetime speech at a non-union auto parts manufacturer in Detroit as the United Auto Workers strike against the Big Three.
And with just 3 days and 16 hours left, the Senate has unveiled a bipartisan plan to avoid the looming government shutdown, but there is no guarantee that it will be able to pass the House. Speaker Kevin McCarthy is still busy trying to get his own members in line.
In Philadelphia, more than a dozen people this morning under arrest after a big group of looters ransacked an Apple store, a Lululemon, and a Foot Locker. This hour of CNN This Morning starts now. We begin with the breaking news out of North Korea. Their state-run media reporting the country has decided to expel U.S. Army Private Travis King after completing their investigation into his crossing into South Korea. This was during a tour of the joint
Yeah, so
in July. Here's what North Korea claims that King said.
So
He confessed that he illegally intruded into the territory of the DPRK as he harbored ill feeling against inhumane maltreatment.
So I'm almost out of here.
Within the United States Army, and was disillusioned about the unequal U.S. society.
Hey, Menendez, you should just quit, man, right now. I mean, really, dude. What choice have you got? I mean, what choice have you got? I mean, the more you still stick around, you know, he's going to be in court today, guys. Busy Bob Menendez will be in court today, so he's going to have a choice. I say, all you people in Jersey, should Menendez resign? Yes or no? Those who live in Jersey now. I say yes, but the only person who can answer that is him. So I just want to know from the public of New Jersey, what y'all say? Cory Booker said he should quit, but the only person that can do that is him, and that's going to be the question's going to get to him sooner or later, huh? Oh.
The extraordinary situation and story that really unfolded back in July, how King found himself in North Korea. He was on a tour of the DMZ when he bolted across the DMZ, according to the U.S. military, willfully and without authorization.
Yeah, so
now that area of the DMZ is highly secured, of course, with forces from both the North Korean and South Korean sides. It's called the Joint Security Area. He was being sent back to the United States, in fact, Poppy and Phil, because of an assault that he carried out while he was based in South Korea. In fact, he had served some 50 days.
Hey, Rita, you still there? I mean, not Ross. Hey, Rossville, you still there? If you're there, put on subscribers only mode for 5 minutes.
Disciplinary procedures, but instead, as soon as they let him go, he left. He then joined this tour the next day at the DMZ, and that's when he crossed into North Korea. Now, there were immediate questions about his condition, where he was being held. There was very little communication, if any, between the North Korean and the American sides. Of course, relations are really at an all-time low when it comes to the nuclear talks and concerns over North Korea's nuclear program. Now, certainly, if confirmed, the release of Travis King will be welcomed.
North Korea has decided to expel Army Private Travis King. So he's coming home then.
And with other countries, in fact. But of course, Poppy and Phil, major questions still remain.
Yeah.
It was just really.
Well, let me get out of here. Get out of here.
Okay, sorry, that was my man's. I had to go take care of that. Then he filed that motherfucking number. Mark. Okay, we don't have a discussion like that. Yeah, dumbass. Lock yourself up just trying to motherfucking. Okay. But back to what I was saying. Joint champions all try to act ignorant. Tyra, you got caught on October 30th. You still planning on pleading not guilty?
Who's there? Yep. So, let me get out of here. And I'll see y'all later. Yep, I will see y'all later. Bye.